Anthem for Doomed Youth by Wilfred Owen. Read for LibriVox.org by Andy Munro. What passing bells for these who die as cattle? Only the monstrous anger of the guns, only the stuttering rifles' rapid rattle, can patter out their hasty orisons. No mockeries for them, no prayers nor bells, nor any voice of mourning save the choirs, the shrill, demented choirs of wailing shells, and bugles calling for them from sad shires. What candles may be held to speed them all? Not in the hands of boys, but in their eyes shall shine the holy glimmers of goodbyes. The pallor of girls' brows shall be their pall, their flowers the tenderness of patient minds, and each slow dusk a drawing down of blinds. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Arizona Poems. Rain in the Desert by John Gould Fletcher. Read for LibriVox.org by Alan Davis Drake. The huge red-buttressed mesa over yonder is merely a far-off temple where the sleepy sun is burning its altar fires of pinyon and tonyon for the day. The old priests sleep, white-shrouded. Their pottery whistles lie beside them, the prayer-sticks closely feathered. On every mummied face there glows a smile. The sun is rolling slowly beneath the sluggish folds of the sky-serpents, coiling, uncoiling, blue-black, sparked with fires. The old dead priests feel in the thin dried earth that is heaped upon them. Above the smell of scorching, oozing pinyon, the acrid smell of rain. And now the showers surround the mesa like a troupe of silver dancers, shaking their rattles, stamping, chanting, roaring, whirling, extinguishing the last red wisp of light. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Bright Star by John Keats. Read for LibriVox.org by Valerie Gordon Walker. Bright star, would I were steadfast as thou art, not in lone splendour hung aloft the night and watching, with eternal lids apart. Like nature's patient, sleepless eremite, the moving waters at their priest-like task of pure ablution round earth's human shores, or gazing on the new soft fallen mask of snow upon the mountains and the moors. No, yet still steadfast, still unchangeable, pillowed upon my fair love's ripening breast, to feel for ever its soft fall and swell, awake for ever in a sweet unrest. Still, still to hear her tender taken breath, and so live ever, or else swoon to death. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Chances by Wilfred Owen. Read for LibriVox.org by Andy Munro. I mind as how the night afore that show, us five got talking. We was in the know. Over the top tomorrow, boys, we're for it. First wave we are, first ruddy wave, that's tore it. Ah well, says Jimmy, and he's seen some scrapping. There ain't more nor 5 things as can happen. You get knocked out, else wounded, bad or cushy, scuppered, and nowt else except you're feeling mushy. One of us got the knockout, blown to chops, T'other was hurt like, losing both his props, and one, to use the word of hypocrites, had the misfortune to be took by Fritz. Now me, I wasn't scratched, praise God Almighty, though next time, please, I'll thank him for a blighty. But poor young Jim, he's living and he's not. He reckoned he'd had 5 chances, and he's had. He's wounded, killed and prisoner, all the lot. The ruddy lot all rolled in one. Jim's mad. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Ellis Park by Helen Hoyt. Read for LibriVox.org by Alan Davis Drake. Little park that I pass through, I carry off a piece of you every morning, hurrying down to my work day in the town. Carry you for country there, to make the city ways more fair. I take your trees and your breeze, your greenness, your cleanness, some of your shade, some of your sky, some of your calm as I go by. Your flowers to trim the pavements grim, your space for room in the jostled street, and grass for carpet to my feet. Your fountains take and sweet birds call to sing me from my office walls. All that I can see I carry off with me. But you never miss my theft. So much treasure you have left. As I find you, fresh at morning, so I find you home returning. Nothing lacking from your grace. All your riches wait in place for me to borrow on the morrow. Do you hear this praise of you, little park that I pass through? End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
I Wandered Lonely as a Cloud by William Wordsworth. Read for LibriVox.org by Valerie Gordon Walker. I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high o'er vales and hills, when all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils, beside the lake, beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze. Continuous as the stars that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way, they stretched in never-ending line along the margin of a bay. 10,000 saw I at a glance, tossing their heads in sprightly dance. The waves beside them danced, but they outdid the sparkling waves in glee. A poet could not but be gay in such a jocund company. I gazed and gazed, but little thought what wealth the show to me had brought. For oft, when on my couch I lie, in vacant or in pensive mood, they flash upon that inward eye, which is the bliss of solitude. And then my heart with pleasure fills, and dances with the daffodils. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Inner Silence by Harriet Monroe. Read for LibriVox.org by Alan Davis Drake. Noises that strive to tear earth's mantle soft of air and break upon the stillness where it dwells. The noise of battle and the noise of prayer. The cooing noise of love that softly tells joy's brevity. The brazen noise of laughter, all those affront me not, nor echo after through the long memories. They may not enter the deep chamber where forever silence is. Silence, more soft than spring hides in the ground beneath her budding flowers. Silence, silence more rich than ever was the sound of harps through long warm hours. It's like a hidden vastness, even as though great suns might there beat out their measures slow, nor break the hush mightier than they. There do I dwell eternally, there where no thought may follow me, there where no thought may follow me, nor stillest dreams whose pinions plume the way. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Lines by William Wordsworth. Read for LibriVox.org by Andy Munro. Loud is the vale, the voice is up, with which she speaks when storms are gone, a mighty unison of streams, all of her voices, one. Loud is the vale, this inland depth, in peace is roaring like the sea, yon star upon the mountain top is listening quietly. Sad was I, even to pain depressed, importunate and heavy load, the Comforter hath found me here upon this lonely road. And many thousands now are sad, wait the fulfilment of their fear, for he must die who is their stay, their glory disappear. A power is passing from the earth to breathless nature's dark abyss, but when the great and good depart, what is it more than this? That man who is from God sent forth doth yet again to God return, such ebb and flow must ever be, and wherefore should we mourn? End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
My November Guest by Robert Frost. Read for LibriVox.org by Alan Davis Drake. My sorrow, when she's here with me, thinks these dark days of autumn rain are beautiful as days can be. She loves the bare, the withered tree, she walks the sodden pasture lane. Her pleasure will not let me stay. She talks, and I am fain to list. She's glad the birds are gone away. She's glad her simple worsted gray is silver now with clinging mist. The desolate, deserted trees, the faded earth, the heavy sky, the beauties she so truly sees, she thinks I have no eye for these, and vexes me for reason why. Not yesterday I learned to know the love of bare November days, before the coming of the snow. But it were vain to tell her so, and they are better for her praise. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Newborn by Helen Hoyt. Read for LibriVox.org by Alan Davis Drake. I have heard them in the night, the cry of their fear, because there is no light, because they do not hear familiar sounds and feel the familiar arm, and they wake alone. Yet they have never known danger or harm. What is their dread? This dark about their bed? But they are so lately come out of the dark womb where they were safely kept. That blackness was good. And the silence of that solitude wherein they slept was kind. Where did they find knowledge of death, caution of darkness and cold? These, of the little new breath, have they a prudence so old? End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Old Stoic by Emily Bronte. Read for LibriVox.org by Alan Davis Drake. Riches I hold in light esteem, and love I laugh to scorn, and lust of fame was but a dream that vanished with the morn. And if I pray, the only prayer that moves my lips for me is, leave the heart that now I bear, and give me liberty. Yes, as my swift days near their goal, 'tis all that I implore, in life and death a chainless soul with courage to endure. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
On Another's Sorrow by William Blake. Read for LibriVox.org by David Barnes. Can I see another's woe, and not be in sorrow too? Can I see another's grief, and not seek for kind relief? Can I see a falling tear, and not feel my sorrow's share? Can a father see his child weep, nor be with sorrow filled? Can a mother sit and hear an infant groan, an infant fear? No, no, never can it be, never, never can it be. And can he who smiles on all hear the wren with sorrows small, hear the small bird's grief and care, hear the woes that infants bear, and not sit beside the nest, pouring pity in their breast, and not sit the cradle near, weeping tear on infant's tear, and not sit both night and day, wiping all our tears away? Oh no, never can it be, never, never can it be. He doth give his joy to all, he becomes an infant small, he becomes a man of woe, he doth feel the sorrow too. Think not thou canst sigh a sigh, and thy Maker is not by. Think not thou canst weep a tear, and thy Maker is not near. Oh, he gives to us his joy, that our grief he may destroy. Till our grief is fled and gone, he doth sit by us and moan. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Ortus by Ezra Pound. Read for LibriVox.org by Alan Davis Drake. How have I labored? How have I not labored to bring her soul to birth, to give these elements a name and a center? She is beautiful as the sunlight, and as fluid. She has no name and no place. How have I labored to bring her soul into separation, to give her a name and her being? Surely you have bound and entwined. You are mingled with the elements unborn. I have loved a stream and a shadow. I beseech you, enter your life. I beseech you, learn to say I when I question you. For you are no part but a whole, no portion but a being. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Send-Off by Wilfred Owen. Read for LibriVox.org by Andy Munro. Down the close, darkening lanes they sang their way to the siding shed, and lined the train with faces grimly gay. Their breasts were stuck all white with wreath and spray, as men's are, dead. Dull porters watched them, and a casual tramp stood staring hard, sorry to miss them from the upland camp. Then, unmoved, signals nodded and a lamp winked to the guard. So secretly, like wrongs hushed up they went. They were not ours. We never heard to which front these were sent. Nor there, if they yet mock what women meant who gave them flowers, shall they return to beatings of great bells in wild trainloads? A few, too few for drums and yells, may creep back silent to village wells, up half-known roads. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Sentry by Wilfred Owen. Read for LibriVox.org by Andy Munro. We'd found an old Boche dugout, and he knew, and gave us hell for shell on frantic shell hammered on top, but never quite burst through. Rain, guttering down in waterfalls of slime, kept slush waist high, that rising hour by hour choked up the steps too thick with clay to climb. What murk of air remained stank old and sour, with fumes of whiz-bangs and the smell of men who'd lived their years and left their curse in the den, if not their corpses. There we herded from the blast of whiz-bangs, but one found our door at last, buffeting eyes and breath, snuffing the candles, and thud, flump, thud, down the steep steps came thumping and splashing in the flood, deluging muck the sentry's body, then his rifle, handless. Old Boche bombs and mud in ruck on ruck, we dredged him up, for killed until he whined, "Oh sir, my eyes, I'm blind, I'm blind, I'm blind!" Coaxing, I held a flame against his lids, and said if he could see the least blurred light, he was not blind, in time he'd get all right. "I can't," he sobbed, eyeballs huge bulged like squids, watch my dreams still, but I forgot him there, in posting next for duty and sending a scout to beg a stretcher somewhere and floundering about to other posts under the shrieking air. Those other wretches, how they bled and spewed, and one who would have drowned himself for good, I try not to remember these things now. Let dread hark back for one word only. How? Half listening to that sentry's moans and jumps, and the wild chattering of his broken teeth, renewed most horribly whenever crumps pummeled the roof and slogged the air beneath. Through the dense din, I say, we heard him shout, "I see your lights!" But ours had long died out. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Show by Wilfred Owen. Read for LibriVox.org by Andy Munro. My soul looked down from a vague height with death, as unremembering how I rose or why, and saw a sad land weak with sweats of dearth, grey, cratered like the moon with hollow woe, and fitted with great pocks and scabs of plaques. Across its beard, that horror of harsh wire, there moved thin caterpillars, slowly uncoiled. It seemed they pushed themselves to be as plugs of ditches where they writhed and shrivelled, killed. By them had slimy paths been trailed and scraped, round myriad warts that might be little hills. From gloom's last dregs these long-strung creatures crept, and vanished out of dawn down hidden holes. And smell came up from those foul openings, as out of mouths or deep wounds deepening. On dithering feet upgathered more and more, brown strings toward strings of grey with bristling spines, all migrants from green fields intent on mire. Those that were grey, of more abundant spawns, ramped on the rest and ate them and were eaten. I saw their bitten backs curve, loop and straighten. I watched those agonies curl, lift and flatten. Whereat in terror what that sight might mean, I reeled and shivered earthward like a feather, and death fell with me like a deepening moan, and he, picking a manner of worm which half had hid its bruises in the earth but crawled no further, showed me its feet, the feet of many men, and the fresh severed head of it, my head. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Sonnet number 18 by William Shakespeare. Read for LibriVox.org by Valerie Gordon Walker. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate. Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May, and summer's lease hath all too short a date. Sometime too hot the eye of heaven shines, and often in his gold complexion dimmed, and every fair from fair sometime declines, by chance or nature's changing course untrimmed. But thy eternal summer shall not fade, nor lose possession of that fair thou owest, nor shall death brag thou wanderest in his shade, when in eternal lines to time thou growest. So long as men can breathe or eyes can see, so long lives this, and this gives life to thee. End of sonnet. This recording is in the public domain. Sonnet number 71 by William Shakespeare. Read for LibriVox.org by Valerie Gordon Walker. No longer mourn for me when I am dead, then you shall hear the surly, sullen bell give warning to the world that I am fled from this vile world with vilest worms to dwell. Nay, if you read this line, remember not the hand that writ it, for I love you so that I in your sweet thoughts would be forgot, if thinking on me then should make you woe. Oh, if, I say, you look upon this verse, when I perhaps compounded am with clay, do not so much as my poor name rehearse, but let your love even with my life decay, lest the wise world should look into your moan and mock you with me after I am gone. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Uphill by Christina Georgina Rossetti. Read for LibriVox.org by Alan Davis Drake. Does the road wind uphill all the way? Yes, to the very end. Will the day's journey take the whole long day? From morn to night, my friend. But is there for the night a resting place? A roof for when the slow dark hours begin? May not the darkness hide it from my face? You cannot miss that inn. Shall I meet other wayfarers at night? Those who have gone before. Then must I knock or call when just in sight? They will not keep you standing at that door. Shall I find comfort, travel sore and weak? Of labor you shall find the sum. Will there be beds for me and all who seek? Yea, beds for all who come. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Wonder of It by Harriet Monroe. Read for LibriVox.org by Alan Davis Drake. How wild, how witch-like weird that life should be, that the insensate rock dare dream of me, and take to bursting out and burgeoning, oh long ago, yo-ho, and wearing green, how stark and strange a thing that life should be. O mystic mad, a rigadoon of glee, that dust should rise, and leap alive, and flee afoot, a wing, and shake the deeps with cries. O far away, yo-hey! What moony mask, what arrogant disguise that life should be! End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.